So yeah, Fedor and Rampage is fighting. Like it's officially announced December 29th for Bellator.
It's like a page out of old school Pride.
Yeah, that's a fight that I would have wanted to see back in the day. But like I said before, like
Yeah.
this fight, if this shit would have happened, um, what's it called? If that shit would have happened, like back then, Fedor would have been favored heavily, just
Yeah.
because how big he was back then. Now Rampage is a tank.
Which is crazy too, because you had Chael Sonnen beat Rampage, and you saw how he went up against Fedor. You
Yeah,
know.
but again, I feel like Rampage is gonna win because what Chael's gonna try to do, I mean, what Fedor's gonna try to do is strike. That's what he's
Hmm.
gonna try to do. He's gonna try to strike with Rampage. And when it comes down to it, Fedor been finished a lot more when it comes to striking, standing up. Rampage is normally decisions and everything. Like Fedor's recent losses with Ryan Bader and Matt Mitrione and who was Ryan Bader, Matt Mitrione. He lost to a couple people. Verdun back in the day, Dan Henderson knocked out. But Rampage lately has been losing by decision and stuff like that. If it gets to wrestling match, I feel like grappling match is gonna be favoring easily Fedor. But if it comes to striking, Rampage is gonna end up knocking him out.
Yeah, that should be epic.
And I think Fedor's gonna try to strike, so I favor Rampage in that fight.
It's just crazy these guys are still fighting. Yeah.
Yeah, this is insane.
like, uh, and so speaking of Bellator, they're doing that the
Bellator is rising.
yeah, that looks epic.
And also uh, Douglas is it Douglas Lima that fights for Bellator or his
Yeah,
brother?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Douglas Lima. He's actually I think he's excited. I see him commenting underneath that. I think he wants to fight over there in that tournament, like a 3-on-3. They're gonna get three fighters from Rising and three fighters from
Hmm.
Bellator. That's gonna
Yeah,
be interesting. I wonder who they're gonna pick out.
yeah. I mean, that cross promotional stuff's sick. I don't think the UFC will ever do it. I think after they got screwed out of the whole Pride thing. So now that we speak of Pride, it's like it's just put such a bad taste in the mouth. But it's and also like the UFC has nothing to gain, only stuff to lose. Like they're already considered the top dog.
Of
They
course,
don't need to like it, if they have a champion that goes in and loses, it just
but the thing
there's
is,
no positive for them in that situation.
yeah, no, of course. But the thing is, they worked themselves up to that point because they bought out not only Pride, there anybody that was really
Strike
competitive. Right?
Force.
They bought Strike Force, WEC. Those are people that they acquired too. And actually, when they bought WEC, that's when they actually made the bantamweight and the flyweight division, and the
Hmm.
featherweight division also. So they acquired all those different divisions. That right now they have Bellator, which is still good, but they feel like they're already at a level that they already surpass everybody else. But I like cross promotions though because since Pride used to do that with K1, and that
Yeah.
used to be badass because you get the most sickest world class strikers in the world and put them against another person like. But back then they didn't even have weight divisions. I actually put a highlight not that long
Uh
ago.
huh.
Mark against Wanderlei.
Yeah. Like to be honest, I think how that is going to happen these days is like the UFC is just going to have to sign one of them. You know, it's like let's say for example, who's the guy you like in Glory?
Oh, Alex Pereira.
Yeah, Alex Pereira. If we want to see him fight like Adesanya, they're gonna have to sign with he's gonna
Oh,
have to sign with the UFC.
oh
So
no,
like I
for
guess
sure.
and that's what fighters ultimately want to do anyways. So I guess we do get to see I don't know. Like we get to see the fights. We get to see the fights that we want to see, but
Yeah,
it doesn't necessarily get to be cross promotional. At least not if one of the sides is the UFC.
yeah, of course. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen no more. That shit. Forget
I'm
about it.
excited to see what happens with boxing though, and to see because the UFC is now doing that whole boxing thing, and yeah, it's the middle of October, so it's coming up soon. Dana White's supposed to be making that announcement of who he has in place to be that boxing guy and how he thinks he's going to really reinvent the sport, which I do think that it could be done. Did you watch the Triple G fight this last weekend?
Nah, but this is the interesting thing that you're gonna say that you said this because it reminds me
Yeah.
of yeah, Dana White's trying to get into that boxing promotion. Now the interesting thing is this: when he gets to that boxing promotion thing, is then they could cross promotions.
Yeah.
Imagine
Yeah.
Frank Ngannou as a boxer, as a
Oh,
heavyweight boxer.
If you like these breakdowns, make sure you look at the other videos that I have and subscribe now to our MMA 420 YouTube channel, now on Instagram at _MMA 420 _. And can't forget, opinions always up for discussion, so don't talk shit.